Come hang out with us while we put the first floor walls on our garage apartment. Welcome to Untamed Hearth, where adventure is a way of life and home is the cozy place we snuggle up in between. Hey guys, we got the sealer put on the slab for the garage apartment and it is looking so good. Next step is walls up. Let's see how that goes. On Wednesday, the guys came to pour the slab for the woodshed and they had some extra time to kill, so they helped River put some walls up. He called me about 7 o'clock and he's like, hey, we have 4 walls up. I was like, what? I had to race up there to look. It's awesome.
Alright, so these panels came on these strong backs. Just 3 pieces of 2x4 nailed together in a U shape. So they've been toe-nailed in with a nail shot in with a gun, and I want to remove it, so we're going to use the cat's paw.
You want to tell us what your process is?
Oh, sure. Getting ready to lift this wall with the excavator. Drill the hole through the plywood. So I can put this rope through here. It's doubled up. Now that rope is going around the top plate. The top plate is held onto the rest of the wall, both by the nails that fasten it to the studs, but also by the plywood that is fastened to the top plate. So the plywood acts like it distributes the weight, essentially. So that's why going right there will work. And then this is a choker chain. So it's got a choker on this side. It grabs and hook it onto a link and it'll stay put. And this side has a regular hook, which I've hooked onto the thumb of the excavator. We're all set. I've drilled the holes in the bottom for the bolts, the anchor bolts that hold down the bottom plate. So now I'll fly it over there and set it down.
over 7 minutes and like 12 seconds to set that wall. Pretty awesome. We shimmed under the walls to make them all level and then tied them together at the top by screwing the two portions of wall together. The walls came in, I think it's 12-foot sections where they could, and so then you level them up, tie them together, and there you go. Walls on the first floor.
We're spot on. Gonna tie it together. I'm trying to shim the wall up to the laser line.
Okay.
So we set up the laser, which is over there, the rotary laser, and I have a receiver here that when the receiver meets the line of the laser, it'll beep. So we're using that to establish the top of wall height. We figured it out. We measured all around the foundation, and we found that there was a high point right about here, and then the rest of the foundation was either at that point or a little bit lower. So we're shimming up all the walls up to this high point. So I've got a clamp on the top of the stick here, and what I'm doing is setting the walls. I'll hook it, and it'll tell me what I need to do. So in this case, it's telling me I need to go up.
I'm in the way.
Well, actually, right there is perfect. But if it wasn't, it'd be a little arrow pointing up, and it's 0.02 inches, which is about a 32nd.
Yep.
Anyway, if it be faster, if it needs to come down, and slower if it needs to go up, or steady if we're right on target. So we're gonna have to come back and shim underneath every stud because I just don't want the weight on just those few shims. But this is how we're getting the wall established. We'll put plywood on the outside. These prefabricated panels came with that plywood left off, so that we could apply it ourselves and lock it in to the bottom plate. Once it's all shimmed and fastened, then we'll put spray foam in that whatever gap we have there at the bottom.
So they put this stuff called sill seal underneath between the sill plate and the concrete. It's a water barrier. And you can see how far we've gotten. Now, the foundation was 1 inch wider than it was supposed to be on this end of the building. So from that corner to this corner was 1 inch bigger than it was supposed to be. So to compensate for that, we had to make sure we could make the back wall straight, we had to do a little bit of changing. We didn't want the concrete to stick out beyond the sill. And also this part of the concrete right here bowed out just a little bit. There's some pipes on the other side of that, and I don't know if that's what did it, but this part of the concrete did bow out just a little bit right here. So like I said, in order to compensate for that, we pushed out the sill plate a little bit, because what you don't want to have happen is you don't want water to run down your wall and then on top of the underneath the sill, on top of the concrete, and into your building. So we push the sill out. That way we can bring down the siding over the concrete, and then we won't have any leaking into the building. It's looking good, y'all. Oh my gosh. So that's the back door. That is the window. That will be our cutting room, our butchering room. There'll be a sink behind there and counters. We'll have a little walk-in fridge / freezer. It's just 3 feet wide. For when we're butchering, we'll turn that on. This is Friday. Slab was poured on Monday. Look what we got, yo. Look what we got. So exciting. And almost like magic, we have a first floor on our garage apartment. Hey everyone, click that subscribe button so you can see what happens next on our garage apartment build and keep up with all our adventures.